When you hear Ford, you probably think of pickup trucks, muscle cars, or your uncle saying they don't make them like they used to. But Ford's history is way crazier than most people realize. Today I'm breaking down 10 surprising facts about Ford. Not boring Wikipedia stuff. Actual stories that shaped cars, factories, and even how we work today. Ford Fact 1. Ford didn't invent the car. He invented mass production. First big misconception. Henry Ford did not invent the automobile. Cars already existed. They were just rich people toys. Henry Ford's real genius wasn't the car. It was how the car was built. Before Ford, cars were hand-assembled by skilled workers. One car could take over 12 hours to build. Ford looked at this and said, what if the car moves, not the worker? That idea became the moving assembly line in 1913. Suddenly, build time dropped from 12 hours to about 90 minutes, costs crashed, regular people could afford cars. Basically, Ford didn't invent the car. He invented the idea that you could actually afford one. And fun fact, this production method was so revolutionary that factories around the world copied it, from airplanes to smartphones. Ford Fact number 2. Ford paid workers so much it shocked the world in 1914. Factory jobs were brutal. Long hours, low pay, constant injuries. Workers quit all the time. So Ford did something nobody expected. He doubled wages overnight. Workers went from $2.34 a day to $5 a day, which was insane at the time. Other factory owners thought Ford had completely lost his mind. But Ford had a bigger plan. Happy workers equals fewer people quitting, experienced workers equals faster production. And here's the genius part. Ford wanted his own employees to be able to buy the cars they were building. So yeah, Ford didn't just sell cars to customers. He created customers. This move changed labor laws, wages, and work culture worldwide. Ford Fact number 3. Ford tried to build a city in the jungle and failed miserably. This one sounds fake, but it's 100% real. In the 1920s, Ford needed rubber for tires. Instead of buying it from British suppliers, Ford said, I'll just grow my own. So he bought 2.5 million acres of Amazon rainforest and built a city called Fordlandia. It had American houses, golf courses, schools, even prohibition rules, no alcohol. The problem? The jungle didn't care. Rubber trees got destroyed by insects, workers hated the strict rules, and the entire operation collapsed. Ford tried to run the Amazon like Detroit, and the Amazon said absolutely not. Ford lost millions of dollars, and the city became a ghost town. To this day, the ruins still exist. Fact number 4. Ford lost control of his own company. Temporarily, most people think Henry Ford always controlled Ford Motor Company. In the 1910s, Ford had investors, and they wanted profits now. Henry wanted cheaper cars, higher wages, and long-term growth. The investors sued him. And guess what? Henry Ford lost in court. So what did he do? He pulled the most Henry Ford move ever. He borrowed massive amounts of money and bought out every single investor, regaining full control. After that, no board telling him what to do, no shareholders pressuring him, just Ford doing Ford things. This decision shaped Ford into a family-controlled company for generations. Ford Fact number 5. Ford built the GT40 just to destroy Ferrari. This is one of the greatest revenge stories in automotive history. In the 1960s, Ford tried to buy Ferrari. The deal was almost done until Enzo Ferrari pulled out at the last minute.
That's what she said.
Henry Ford II was furious. So he said, fine, we'll beat you where it hurts. Ford poured millions into racing and built the GT40, designed for one purpose: to beat Ferrari at Le Mans. And it worked. Ford won Le Mans 4 times in a row, ended Ferrari's dominance, proved American manufacturers could win on the world stage. The GT40 wasn't just a car, it was a 200 miles per hour middle finger. Ford Fact 6. Ford made a car for the masses, but almost made it electric way before Tesla. Most people think electric cars are a 21st century thing. Wrong. Henry Ford actually experimented with electric cars in the 1910s to 1920s. The idea? A car that was clean, quiet, easy to start, no cranking, which was brutal back then. But there was a problem: batteries were terrible. Heavy, expensive, could barely go 50 miles, so Ford abandoned the project and focused on gasoline cars because they were faster, cheaper, and could go across the country without leaving you stranded in the middle of nowhere. Basically, Ford could have made electric cars popular a century ago, but instead he gave us road trips and gas station snacks. Ford Fact 7. The Model T was a chameleon. Everyone thinks the Model T was black forever. Fact, it wasn't always black. Henry Ford famously said, "You can have any color as long as it's black." Why? Because black dried fastest on the assembly line, which meant faster production. But before that, the Model T came in green, red, blue, and gray, and they sold just fine. So yes, the Model T was technically a fashion statement, just a very, very black one. This little decision helped Ford sell millions of cars worldwide and made him the first real mass-market car company. Ford's global empire had some very weird rules. Henry Ford had very strong opinions about how people should live. When Ford opened factories in other countries, like Germany, Brazil, and the UK, he often tried to export American culture along with cars. Example, Fordlandia in the Amazon was just one extreme, but even in Europe, workers had strict schedules. Alcohol was banned, there were American-style schools. Henry Ford basically said, "You don't just work here, you live like I want you to live." Sometimes it worked. Sometimes, like the Jungle City, it went spectacularly wrong. Ford Fact 9. Ford made planes, tanks, and even cars you could drive on ice during World War I and World War II. Ford turned his factories into military powerhouses. Made B-24 Liberator bombers produced tanks and military vehicles. Even experimented with ice-capable cars for Canada. Ford's factories were so efficient that the military basically said, "We don't care if you're making cars, trucks, or planes. Just make them fast, and make a lot of them." Fun fact, Henry Ford was obsessed with standardization, which meant parts could be swapped easily, even across vehicles, saving massive amounts of time during war production. Ford didn't just build cars, he built an industrial army. Ford Fact 10. Ford's failed Edsel almost killed the company. Everyone knows about Tesla failures today, but in 1957, Ford faced its own nightmare, the Edsel. Hype was massive, marketing was everywhere, dealers were ready then it launched, and nobody wanted it. Why? Ugly design. Some said it looked like a toilet on wheels. Overpriced mechanical problems. Ford poured millions into advertising, and the Edsel flopped harder than a pancake in a hurricane. The lesson? Even Ford, the king of production, couldn't predict what people actually wanted. But don't worry, they survived. And the Edsel is now a collector's joke. I mean treasure. So next time you see a Ford on the road, remember, it's not just a car. It's a century of experiments, mistakes, bold moves, and brilliant ideas, all rolled into steel, rubber, and a little bit of chaos. Thanks for watching, and remember, life's too short for boring cars.